Okay, fingers crossed. It's better this time. Let me see if I am... Yep, I'm live again. It works now. Good, excellent. That's fine. Sometimes the software that I use is a little temperamental and I have to reboot. So here we are, so that's fine. And what's annoying is it doesn't always give me notice that it's temperamental. So, hi Sophie, hi Joanna, hi Nora, hi Lorna. Yay, we can hear. So, what I had been saying, hi Pam, hi Audrey. So what I had been saying is that today, let's start with why I wasn't around on Thursday. So the problem was that where we are, a lot of our electricity comes through overhead cables, and particularly in the summer. Morning, Margaret. Particularly in the summer, let's not laugh at that one at the moment. If the trees are heavy from leaves, obviously, hi Rachel, hi Deb, they can bounce on the overhead power cables, which can trip the circuit. And we had a couple just before I was due to go live, because we've had gales here, and then things started flying round the garden that we had to kind of pin down and put away and stuff. So it just wasn't going to happen. So apologies for not being here on Thursday. Sometimes life just happens. So that's why I wasn't here on Thursday. What I'm going to show you today is the United Through Creativity digital download that is available everywhere in the world that is stamping up. Hello, Elaine. And it's free. It's amazing. And I need to cough. Excuse me. Still got a residual from COVID. It comes every now and again, but it's a very definite cough. So yes, it's free. It comes in every language that Stamping Up uses, so all the nations that we're in. Excuse me. With the exception, as someone pointed out on one of the Facebook groups I'm in, there's no Welsh. I do apologise. Mother Nature, eh? I know, Audrey, you just love it. It's really overcast again today. I think come the end of this week, things are supposed to get a bit better. The low pressure system that's been over the UK for the last couple of weeks apparently is weakening, so we should start getting some more spring-like weather. And we may even hit the 20s in June, you never know. Anywho, so it's free. I find it really easy to print on my printer, and my printer isn't a flatbed loader, it's one that goes round a corner, but I can print it on basic white without any problem at all. I have a... Morning, Jenny. I have an ink printer. Inkjet, that's the one I'm looking for, as opposed to what the other one is, the one that uses powder. Anyway, and the ink doesn't smudge with blends. I know this because I've used it. So I'm going to flip you... I'm going to flip you down to show you what I've made. I'm also going to give you a sneak peek at something else before we then get started on today's projects. So here we go. Let me flip you down. Yay! That looks okay. It will catch up in a little while. So I should actually be doing these in exactly the opposite order from the ones that I've got them laid out in. So this is the first one that I made. So it comes with this long group, and I've just coloured it with some blends. I've gone for fairly subtle colours, and some of them are in the subtles. A lot of them are in the neutrals as well. And then at the back, this is vellum, which I've used the stitched greenery dye. Bit chilly. Oh, you could say that. We have a high of 13 degrees centigrade. Now 16 degrees centigrade is 61 in Fahrenheit, so yeah, high of 13 degrees centigrade. Morning, Leslie. So yes, I've used the stitched greenery die for the back for this vellum, just to give it a bit of texture. Didn't want anything too much, just a little bit. This is one of the new dies that is really well hidden in the new catalogue. Let me find my catalogue and I will show you what I mean. So it is on page 65. It's the stitched greenery die, and there are images on page 83, or it's being used on page 83, just in the top corner, which you can't see behind my head, so it's here. So it's been used on this free as a bird card, but it is really well hidden. Beat you at 8 degrees at the moment. Oh, I didn't say it was 13 yet, Audrey. I said we're due a high of 13 degrees. Morning, Mickey from South Carolina, where I would guess it's probably a little bit warmer than it is here. So, okay, Audrey, we are 11 at the moment. Hey. Anyway, so, yes, the stitched greenery die, so soft sea foam, and then various blends. And this actually comes as one long sentiment, which I've just cut down and then fussy cut, because you know me and fussy cutting. I need to put something under the T, because that's flying in the breeze. I will sort that out. But yeah, so that's that one. Then there's a couple that are just consoling each other. That's how I see it anyway. And I've used the Stitch with Whimsy die. Yes, it's 11 here at the moment, Jenny. So yes, this is the Stitched with Whimsy die that I've then just cut round, because it doesn't actually die cut it, it just puts the stitching in. And I've used the stitched rectangles, which are one of the dies that they recommend. This is the Stitch So Sweetly die set, and I put some DSP at the back. This is the Brights Family Designer Series paper. And I've put, apart from on this last one that I'm about to show you, I've put some rhinestones on all of them. And this is the one for us Brits, or those of us, I should say, those of us in the United Kingdom, because we've got Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and England. I could have put, there was part of me, and I thought it might be a little political, to say I was going to use the same We Belong Together across the front. Hi Debbie, but I thought that might be seen as a little bit political, because there are talks of independence for Scotland, Audrey. Anyway, so I didn't. I've just gone for red, white and blue, and what absolutely fabulous news, because I could. So some of the sentiments are in colour. Let me give you a quick flip through some of, but not all of these. So this is for Canada, this is the maple leaf. You get a sheet of 4 of these, which are really, really fine detail. Not sure I would use blends on these. I think I might use Stampin' Right markers, the fine tip end. But it's picking up. So we've got a duck-billed platypus, we've got a kiwi. I'm guessing this is Canada, or is this Canada? Not quite sure what the gnome is denoting. This is obviously Big Ben. We've got the eagle. We've got a bicycle for... Oh, that could be one of the European countries, because I'm guessing the bicycle is for Holland, or the Netherlands, I should say, because Holland is a region of the Netherlands. On the fence, what happens, happens. Fair enough, Audrey. So yes, so that's... You get 4 of those on a sheet. You can just print the ones you want, so you don't have to print all of them. You have to print a whole sheet, but Edelweiss, clogs. This is for Australia, and I don't know what that floral is, but if we've got any Australians on, maybe you can tell me. And then we've got the fern for New Zealand. And then, as I say, a selection of sentiments. I have split them into colours, so this is all black and white. And then we've got Calypso Coral, Highland Heather, I think, but it could be Gorgeous Grape, Poppy Parade, Pool Party, Crushed Curry, Bermuda Bay, Shaded Spruce, and maybe that was Mint Macaron, and then this is Pool Party. Banksula, an Australian wattle. Okay. Anyway, I'm not using those this morning. I've been using some others for Europe and America, actually. But before I get started, I'm going to give you a very sneak peek. So I've just launched for those of you in the UK, I've just launched my next class in the mail, which uses the Expressions in Ink designer series paper. Oh, it's gorgeous. It is currently on low inventory, so I have ordered some in advance because I don't want it to disappear. But I have ordered enough, certainly for those who have already signed up. But very quick sneak peek at this. Uses the die, or the dies, and the new rose and golden rose metallic card. And again, this is another of the dies. This uses one of the new embossing folders. Pretty Flowers, I think it's called. Using up some scraps. This is a fun fold. And then another fun fold, which is actually not that difficult. And then there's a box. So those are the projects. There's 8 projects, and you get a half pack of the paper. So if you're interested in that, it's £30 just for the kit, and then you can add the stamp set and bundle, and you get a discount on the instructions if you add the stamp set and bundle. So that is it's available till the 28th of March. So if you want it, as I say, it is low inventory on the paper, so I have ordered some. Thank you, Audrey. So I have ordered some of the paper so that we don't end up, hopefully, with a butterfly bouquet situation where I had to... what stamp set is it? It's the artistic ink. Artistically ink. It's the one that goes with the... It's the one in the Expressions in Ink suite. And you don't need the stamp set. You can use your own sentiment. I have done some stamping with the images, but you don't have to. So it's one of those things you don't have to use the stamp set. Right. But as I say, that's available till the 28th of May. Bookings close on the 28th of May. If you're on my newsletter, you will have seen the information. So this is the image for France. I've got the papers, so if you're short, you can leave it out of mine. No, Lorna, you've booked yours, so you get to have more paper, because we all need that paper. It's so gorgeous. I really struggled to cut into it. It was not easy. Anywho, so yes, this is the French inspired set, and I brought out, these are the colours that they've used in the images that they've suggested. So we've got Blackberry Bliss, Ivory, which comes with the bronze, So Saffron, and Old Olive. So I'm going to start with the Blackberry Bliss, and then add the other colours. So actually I'm going to put down some light Blackberry Bliss first. So clearly we're going for red wine, because why wouldn't you? And I'm going to be using a Blackberry Bliss card base and some of the Blackberry Bliss ribbon from the mini catalogue, which is the, in inverted commas, striped ribbon. It's self-striped. So just adding colour to my wine, but I am going to shade it. A little. I will be bringing this up so that you can see it as we go, so don't worry. And Lorna, I have to say I did order quite a lot because I'm going to be using it for the year, so if I've over ordered, it's not going to be a problem. So yes, this afternoon I've got my celebration, which was supposed to be earlier in the year, and it's for members of the team who recruited during celebration. It was supposed to be, as I say, earlier in the year, but then we had the issues with, you know, having to deal with my father passing away. So I had to postpone it. But yes, cream teas have been posted out. Projects have been made. Boxes have been sent out with the kits. And then in June, I've got my team retreat, which we're doing on Zoom. Lorna, you're coming to that, I think, aren't you? I think I remember correctly that you have signed up. Can't remember. And all of the kit arrived yesterday. Woohoo! So I must take down the banner on my website that says there are shipping delays, because I ordered everything for my team retreat on Monday about noon, and it arrived about noon yesterday, which for getting stuff out of Europe into the UK at the moment is phenomenal, and I didn't use expedited shipping. We do now have the option of 2 options of expedited shipping. We have queue jumping on picking, so that's at the warehouse, and then you can add on top of that, you are coming, good, and then we can add on top of our queue jumping, we can add expedited shipping as well with UPS, which flies over rather than coming by container, as in ship. So yeah, but it is quite a lot of money, so at the moment, as shipping is quite easy or happening, I don't see the point. So that is my wine and grapes. So that's all I need with the Blackberry Bliss. So let's do my leaves, which there aren't very many. I think I'm almost at the point where I need to have new Old Olive blends, because these are some of my really old favourites, and I use Old Olive quite a lot, and they do run out eventually, but at the moment we seem to be all right. So after this I need to do a quick bit of tidying up in the garden. That is quick delivery, absolutely, Audrey. I was amazed. It didn't change delivery date the whole way through, which I was staggered by. So yeah, hurrah and la la. Now I know I've got to say 2 things, haven't I? A, there is still time to do the Join Plus offer. £154 of product for a mere £99. And one of my team who was on here but may not have come back. Good morning, Barbara. So yes, Pam, one of my new team members, managed to get exactly £154 of product in her starter kit, which was amazing. Right, so that's my grapes all done. So now we've just got to do the cheese. There isn't a huge amount to do with the cheese because it's cheese. So I'm thinking we're going to have a, is this dark? Yes, dark so saffron rind on our cheese. Took 8 days. Did that include the weekend though, Audrey? Because if it included the weekend, I would take 2 days out, so that would be 6. Because nothing happens at the weekend. It doesn't even move with UPS at the weekend. Certainly not for the standard shipping. So that's my rind. So I'm going to have to mirror my rind on these slices. Then this I'm going to have some saffron on as well. I am going to add some colour to whatever this cheese is, but for the moment I'm just going to add, I think this is what we used to call holy cheese because it's got holes in. Is it Gouda? Not very good on cheeses. I don't think it is Gouda. I think Gouda is something, I think Gouda may have small holes. This may be Gouda, but anyway, it's the French, this is for France. So you'd like to think it was a French cheese. Just saying. I thought that was bread. Oh, I suppose it could be bread. I see it as cheese, but you could be right. It could be bread. I don't think it matters, actually. The only reason I think it's cheese is because of the colours they've used. I think they would have used... So two of you thinking it was bread. Well, you, as I say, you could be right and I could be wrong. I probably am. But anyway, so in case it's bread, I'm going to put some ivory over the top just to kill the yellow a bit. But I would have expected them to have used crumb cake if it was meant to be bread. Just looks like a very small piece of bread. If this is a cheese, so that looks like it's a boursin. So, yeah, this would be very, very... I suppose it could be a bread roll, but I'm not sure I would cut a bread roll in slices. Not Gouda, maybe Emmental. That's true, it could be Emmental. You were definitely a mouse in your previous life where you ordered it. I have to say I love cheese. It's not necessarily that good for you because it is quite full of, you know, fat. I'm going to use the ivory just so that we've got some kind of shading in there, and then I will add some saffron as well just to tie it in a bit. Might add some grey as well, possibly some smoky slate. Not going to have much on this because I think this is a boursin, in which case it's basically white, so it just needs a bit of shading. No idea what this cheese is, but again I'm going to use some ivory just to give it a bit of colour. Ooh, and the colour lifter might be a good idea. The colour lifter is great for blending your edges in. I'll give that a bit of a rind. And then I'm going to use some ivory on our bread cheese, whatever this is, just a bit, just to give it a bit of something. And then I'm going to bring in the colour lifter to blend that out a bit. So this is what it looks like before blending out, and then if we add the colour lifter, that blends it out so it takes away the harsh edges. You may not be able to see the difference, but I can see the difference in real life. But it just softens that edge, because otherwise it does look a bit sodden. I'm going to soften that a bit as well. Now I'm going to link this video to the post that I've already... Not great for the waistline, no, definitely not. I'm going to add this to the post that I've already put about the diversity set on my website. So if you want to see, I'll do some close-ups and add this link. And I'm just going to add a little bit of shading, because otherwise it feels to me like it's floating. I do like things to be grounded. And actually I might just grab some balmy blue so that I just want to add a bit of colour to the glass. And I mean, it's almost nothing. This is balmy blue light, so it is almost nothing, but it just adds a little bit of something. You'd have a cheese board over a dessert any day. I do like my desserts though. Ooh, 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 just spotted a bit that's got no colour at all. Actually, I'll call it shadow, and just pop some grey in there. Smoky slate. So, you, as I say, you can then come back in and let me show you what it's like now. So, it's quite a definite line. Taking in lots of colouring tips. Good! Glad it's helping, Pam. The colour lifter is, I think, underused. It's not just for mistakes. It's for blending as well. So don't think of it as, ooh, I've gone over the line, I need to take it out. It's really good for just softening everything down, blending it, getting it to sort of colour a bit or bleed a bit, which on a shadow is really quite helpful. I will be coming in with the broad tip on this again in a moment, because the broad tip does let more alcohol run out. I love using alcohol inks, as in, you know, markers. I like using alcohol inks as well, but sadly we don't use them on Stampin' Up, or don't carry them. So can you see that we've now softened those shadows, but they are definitely, it just adds a bit of 3D. Hello, Catherine. So that is that. Then I've got my Blackberry Bliss card base, and what I'm going to do is that just add that on. I'm going to run some ribbon through here. Thank you, Catherine. This is the free download that's on my website at the moment. So if you go to my website this morning, you will find the link to this free download on my online store. It's for World Diversity Day. Would be fantastic for you for school. So it could be a really helpful tool for you, because World Diversity Day was yesterday, so this was launched yesterday for that. So then I'm going to just pull those behind and stick those down with some Seal Plus. With some Seal Plus. It does help if you actually pick up what you're talking about rather than the other one. I'm going to pull that so it's reasonably taut but not too taut. And a pair of snips. I actually had a bit of a tidy up yesterday. Only of my desk, I hasten to add. My desk looks like a bomb has landed in it. Got to tidy that up before this afternoon's team event. So that's going to go on there, but first of all I'm going to add just a single bit. Like that. Trim that down. On both ends. Oop. It's flying across the desk. So I've just trimmed that down. And I can move this simply by pulling it. Yes, they are the same holder, basically, Catherine. So you could get away with just one holder. So those of you who aren't seeing the comments, Catherine wanted to know if the Seal Plus refill would go in the seal holder. It will. And actually, get 2 seals and a Seal Plus refill, and that will be cheaper than getting the holder for the Seal Plus. Don't know why, but it is. So yes, 2 full seals and a Seal Plus refill are cheaper than getting a seal refill and a Seal Plus. Don't know why. Anyway, I hope that made sense. Look at the prices is all I would say. Anyway, so that's that, and I'm just going to add some dimensionals to the back. Now you could use either black or white. Because I'm on white card, I'm going to use white, but because I'm going on to Blackberry Bliss, I could use black. I don't like using black behind white because it might show through, because the white is not as thick as the other colours. If you use thick white, it would be okay, but not if you're using the ordinary basic white, which is currently out of stock. I think it's the ordinary that's out of stock. One's on back order and one's out of stock. I think there have been lots of people adding things to their orders so that they get the extra rewards, because if you spend £200, sorry, these dimensionals are out of one of the kits and they don't release quite as well. So yes, because if you spend £200 you get an extra £20 of rewards. I think people have been putting in some basics. Am I completely recovered now, Catherine? I've got a residual cough, which if you'd been here earlier you would have witnessed. And I don't mean that as a criticism of not being here earlier, it's just I did have a bit of a coughing fit earlier. So I do have a bit of a residual cough. I've got some odd things that are kind of weird going on that I think may be COVID related. I've got a funny kind of dry area on my skin, which I think may be COVID. There are some skin issues as a result of for some people who've had COVID. But more or less I'm better, yes. And I'm due to have my second vaccination on the 4th of June. So, assuming they don't bring it forward. So anyway, so that's our first card. Obviously you would need to have a liner because it's dark. So that's our first card. You can add a sentiment, obviously. So that's the first one. My second one, which I've now just covered with that, is for the US of A, and don't need those, is good old apple pie. So I've got a piece of Poppy Parade card, So Saffron and the pie, and then this sentiment, you're the best thing since sliced bread, is why this for an American thing that has a pie, I don't know. You could just obviously cut the since sliced bread off and just have you're the best thing, or you're the best. In fact, I might do you're the best. I might trim it down, because you're the best thing since sliced bread is kind of not quite what I'm thinking of. Anywho, I have got Poppy Parade markers. I've got Smoky Slate, Crumb Cake and Cinnamon Cider. These again are the suggested colours for one of the projects that Stamping Up has shared. So clearly they are expecting the apple to be red. I know that apples can be both red and green, so but to tie it into the Poppy Parade I will use red. I will use Poppy Parade. How long will the download be available? My computer's still refusing to speak to my printer. Oh no! Till May next year. I want to say the 2nd of May next year. I mean, it's available for a long time. But I think it's the 2nd of May next year. But it is free. And what I love about that is that it means those of us who do classes in the mail, if any of your class people don't have sentiments, they can use that and just use the sentiments from the download. They're not, there's not a happy birthday or things like that, but they are sentiments and they're free. You do obviously have to print them onto something, and as I say, the basic white goes through my printer without any problem at all, and it's not a flatbed printer. Blech. Got bread on the brain. So yeah. Now I will be blending this out as ever, but I just want this sort of bit in the middle to be highlighted. I will do some photos and try and get these uploaded today, but as I say, I've got my celebration, I can't talk, this afternoon, so I am quite busy, and then we're going out to have dinner with some friends in their house. I know, it's amazing. We are actually going out to have dinner with people in their house. Fingers crossed it continues to improve. Our infection rate in Oxfordshire has plummeted. I think I'm right in saying that in South Oxfordshire, where I am, it's in single figures, so it's like 6 or something. Nationally, it's low end of double figures, so it's somewhere, again, I want to say 13. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I want to say. Right, I'm thinking this is in a dish. We do still have the issues with some people with the Indian variant in a couple of places, and I do need to add some colour to the inside of the apple. But yeah, generally speaking, and there was some concern that the Indian variant was taking hold in, yes it is light, in West London, but the numbers there seem to be coming down as well. So, seeing my youngest son today for the first time for a year. Oh, Lorna, that's wonderful. Yeah, and we're going over to see my brother and sister-in-law next weekend. Hopefully the weather will be nicer because it's for a barbecue. The forecast is that the weather will be a bit better. I've had a look at the blog and I can't see anywhere to click to download. Okay, so is it the diversity blog that you've got to? So we are talking about the same blog post, is all I would say, Catherine. It's the very last image on that post, on that blog, is one that I put together that that says there's a free download, and if you click on that image it will take you to where you can get it on my store. So do have a look at that. Now I am going to lighten that with some lift. Yes, right, so go right to the bottom of the post. Let me bring it up on my computer. So if you go, there's all the images that I've showed everyone earlier, and then there's an image that says United Through Creativity free digital download. If you click on that, it takes you to the download. Seeing your parents for the first time in 9 months, Joanna. Oh, wonderful. So I'm gonna do some lifting because that's too dark for me. I'm also going to do some lifting on the Poppy Parade. Now, what I would say, oh, and you're seeing your daughter tomorrow, Lorna, brilliant. If you use this on a very definite colour, by which I would say Poppy Parade is a very definite colour. You can sometimes pick up a bit of colour, so do scribble it off, a bit like the blender pen for the watercolour pencils. Just scribble it off, otherwise you could end up having cross-fertilisation. So Catherine, if you can tell me if you found where I've pointed you, that would be, because yeah, I'm not sure if the yes is that you've found it or not. Anyway, so I'm using light crumb cake for the apple flesh, but again I'm going to lift that. And then I will do the pastry. So I'm going to start, actually I'm going to start with crumb cake and go from there. So this is the dark crumb cake. Anyway, it should work, Catherine, because I've just tried it and it did. So fingers crossed it will work for you. Then I've got light cinnamon cider. Kind of on over most of the crumb cake. So this is where it's got that lovely golden colour on the apple pie that we all dream of and don't always get. Have looked and clicked it and it takes me to an Instagram image, not a download. Shouldn't. I've literally just clicked on it. Click right in the middle. And it should take you to my online store. As I say, I've literally just tried it and it was fine. Don't know why it's not working. Anyway, I will double check it and put a separate link in later. I don't think I even used it for Instagram. That image, I used it for Pinterest. Not sure I used it for Instagram. Anyway, hopefully it will work for you, because as I say, it's worked for me, and that's me logging on as not me, if you see what I mean. Fingers crossed. So it should take you to the image. It should take you to, bear with me, a page that says that it is Stampin' Up, and it's Unite Through Creativity, and it's got this image in particular there. I'm in the online store. What store? Fair enough, Catherine. I mean, it is there, so you can get to it via the online store as well. It's under the specials or discount or something. Those sorts of, I can't remember what the tab's called now, but it is there. But I will add a separate, click here link as well. Because what I quite often do is do a click here or on the image, because some people like a big image. And just come back in with some more light. Now you may think I'm taking off the whole of the crumb cake, but because the crumb cake is there, it softens this colour. So So let me show you what I mean. So I used the light crumb cake. No, I didn't. I used the dark crumb cake. So let me put down a layer of dark crumb cake. It might be quicker if I use the other end. Don't worry if it looks darker from one end to the other. It's just that there's more ink at one end, or more alcohol, so it will lighten. So then I put down dark cinnamon cider. So let's put dark cinnamon cider. In fact, let's do that. And then I put down light cinnamon cider. And light cinnamon cider. And you should be able to see that this isn't as bright as this. So it's got more of that pastry feel to it, for me anyway, but it does make a difference, is basically what I'm saying. Am I under the camera? Hopefully I am. Right, so I'm going to do a bit of lifting with the light crumb cake. Any colour that you use that is lighter will lift a bit. It takes a while to do it because it's got to evaporate. So it goes on wet and then has to evaporate. But it just, if you don't want a really solid lift, so let me show you what I mean. So this is going over that. And then if I use the colour lifter, whoops. So, where are we there? So this is just using the light crumb cake, and this is using the colour lifter. I don't know if you can see, let me see full screen on this. Yes, you can see that this is lighter than this, because the colour lifter will take much more off than the light crumb cake, but the light crumb cake still lifts a bit, and that works with all the colours. So if you want to lighten something, you don't have to instantly go to the colour lifter. So just adding some steam and a bit of shadow. Oop, wrong end. And then colour lifter. Just to soften that out a bit. And use the thick end for the steam. Just be careful if you're next to a colour not to go into the colour, because otherwise it could run. But that just helps soften that all down. So there's our final image. Now there is more steam, but I die cut it off. So I'm going to come in with my sauce saffron. And let's get rid of those, and I'm going to dissect this. So I'm going to have it saying "you're the best" because I'm not into this reference to sliced bread on this. So this is not available. Morning, Wendy. Don't worry. We had a bit of a false start because the sound wasn't working. So there we go, you're the best. So that was a celebration offer a wee while ago, and it's not available anymore. You were on the blog, not the store. You've got them. Oh, it should have gone straight from the blog as well, but never mind. Whatever. Right, so Poppy Parade card base. Now, while I remember, If you have enjoyed this, found it helpful, all that good stuff, I would be thrilled if you give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, I would be really, really happy if you would. And of course, if you're in the UK and want any Stampin' Up products, that would be wonderful too, even if it is the free download. In fact, if you're not in the UK, I think you could probably use the link and still get the free download. It may or may not work because the link is to my UK online store. It may not work if you're outside the UK. But I highly recommend getting it. You don't have to do anything with it. Once you've got it, you can just have it. So I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. I'm not going to use these dimensionals. These were the ones that, as I say, I got in a kit. Can't remember which kit it was. I think it's quite an old one. And they're not quite our usual dimensional for some reason. So I'm going to open, sorry Audrey, I'm going to open a new packet. So Wendy will be joining me this afternoon for our crafternoon tea. I was delighted to hear that the teas and the boxes had arrived, because you just don't know. For some reason, so I was sending to various places, but including Wales and Cornwall. And it is a Cornish cream tea. I would never send a Devon cream tea to someone in Cornwall. Just saying. Hello, Joanne from Canada. Gosh, early in the morning for you. Wow. But anyway, it's... So I ordered them, and I ordered them all separately because obviously they had to go to different addresses, and they were from Amazon. I might put that on a piece of Poppy Parade. In fact, I might do a piece of So Saffron and Poppy Parade. So it said that the one to Wales was going to take an extra day, even though it was Amazon Prime and should have arrived the next day. Fortunately, it did actually arrive the next day. Box, yes. Tea, no. I know you're not a great tea drinker, but there is tea. Oh, hang on. No, your cream tea should have arrived. I've had a delivery notice. I've had confirmation that it's arrived. You're telling me it's not? That's odd. I'll look at that after. But yes, your cream tea, according to Amazon, your cream tea was delivered on Thursday, I think. It was supposed to be going through the letterbox. So whether it's been put into the fridge for you, I don't know. That's a bit of a worry, because I know the one for Cornwall arrived. Morning, Kay. Am I going to be brave? Yes, I am. Anyway, we'll pick that up offline in a bit, Wendy. So I just think it would be nice to have it mirroring what we've got going on for this. Okay, we'll pick it up offline, Wendy. That's annoying if that is the case. So there, I think. Oops. So yes, that's going to go there. So I'll pop a dimensional there so that I know that's well rounded. Yeah. And then I can take off that and that. And I'll run a little bit of adhesive there. Thank you, Kay. This is the new download, as you probably guessed, because it's in the title. Oh dear. Gotta laugh. Right, so that is that. I think it's going to need a bit of bling. So some basic rhinestones. Whoops. Snips falling everywhere. Ooh, didn't realise I had more up there. Excellent. Cat fur. How does cat fur get onto my dimensionals when the cats don't go in my dimensionals? Would someone like to tell me that? I kind of fancy one there somewhere. And then we'll have one just tucked in there. And then we'll take a big one and pop it in under there. And again, that's going to need a liner. So our two projects for today were the French one, or the image for France, I should say, and the American one, the image for America. But as you can see, I've cut down the "You're the best thing since sliced bread." I thought I can't download as my printer is broken, so I can't print anything off. Okay, you've got until May next year, so hopefully that will be okay. So there we go. So those are those ones, and then we've got the ones that I made, the ones I made earlier, which are on my blog. Which you can almost see all of. So I'll add photos of these to my blog post. And thank you, Lorna. These, seriously, if you've got a printer that's working, please print these off. They are so easy to use. I mean, you're not going to stamp things badly because you're not stamping. So you're going to get a crisp image every time. Now, obviously, I fussy cut those because, you know, it's me. I fussy cut that. It's me. But, yeah, they are amazing. And, as I say, for schools, anyone in education, these will be great for diversity. You can colour your people any shade you want. So, yeah, have fun with these. There was me saying this was going to be a short session. And it's an hour. Anywho, thank you very much indeed for joining me. As I say, if you don't already subscribe, there's a subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. And I will see you again on Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock UK time for more fun and games. I'm going to be using this a lot over the next few weeks. Not necessarily for my lives, but I love this set. I think it's perfect for all sorts of occasions. And of course, if you've got other sentiments, you can use other sentiments. This would be perfect for a man with a, you know, for a birthday card. You can have your happy birthday put on. So yeah, so I was just reading the conversation between Wendy and Kay. Always a nice start to a Saturday. Thank you, Catherine. So have fun. Do remember the shopping offer. If you've got friends you can put a big order in together, then you get an extra £20 for a £200 order. If you want to get the best bargain, obviously that would be, oh, something's going odd on my, I've frozen. Okay, oh, are we back? No, we're not. Don't know why I've frozen. Oh, we're back. We're back. So yes, if you've got a larger order, actually your best deal is to buy the starter kit. And remember, you don't have to do anything with the starter kit other than go, hi, I've got lots of free product. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. I will see some of you later because some of you will be joining my celebration. And yeah, have a good one. Bye. She says, let's do the